I have tried to do this video like 7 times, and the deal is I just want to come on and talk to you. So I'm starting all over again, and I'm just going to riff. And this is about why cold calling sucks. There's so many people out there that tell you to cold call. There's books about it and podcasts and shows and coaches and all that stuff. And I guess it works for some people. It's a numbers game. If you call enough people, eventually you're going to get someone who's going to buy or sell from you. But that is a really shitty way to do business. I find it extremely icky, and I never want to do it. In fact, years ago when I started in the business, my manager told me to cold call, and I said I was going to do it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, but I found myself resisting every single time, and I never picked up the phone and did it because I just found it gross. And I started building my business another way, just by kind of talking to people and letting it happen organically. And my sales manager gave me a hard time because I wasn't making cold calls. And when I told him, well, I'm doing it another way, I like to do it my way, he said, you can't do it that way. It doesn't work. And I was like, dude, look at my pipeline. There are people in my pipeline. And more importantly, I enjoy my life and I don't feel icky. And I went along that way for a long time, just sort of meandering and bouncing around. And it worked, but it didn't work to the extent that I wanted it to work, because I wanted to up level, like up my game. And so then I started paying attention. I'll tell you my whole story another day. This is strictly about cold calling and why it's gross. This is really support for you. I'm not trying to talk you out of cold calling, but this is the support that I wish I had when I was a new agent, when I knew that cold calling was gross and people were telling me to do it. I wish somebody would have stood up and said, Janice, it's okay. You don't have to cold call. And this is your message, that if it feels gross to you, you don't have to do it. So I was doing my business kind of organically, and then I wanted to step it up. So then I started to do it more like a business. Like, I built systems into it, but I still do it organically. And here's what I mean by organically. I don't look at real estate as houses or buildings. That's not the business that I'm in. I love looking at houses. It's really fun. And sometimes I still go preview properties just for the kicks of it. But this is not a business about houses. This is a business about people. And people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, especially in real estate. Moving is the third most stressful situation in people's lives, behind only death and divorce. So we're dealing with something really emotional, and a lot of times people are moving because of death or divorce. So if you're going to cold call random strangers in the middle of the day and assault them with a phone call, asking them for something, putting them on the spot, and they don't even know you, how icky and gross is that? Like, why do people do that? I just don't understand. Actually, I do kind of understand, because that's the way people have told them to do it, and that's the way they think they have to do it. But there's a better way, and the better way is to put the people first and to build a relationship and trust that once you build a relationship, if there's a need that has to do with real estate, you are going to pull the tools out of your toolbox to help them. Now, if you just go meander about your life and you're just going on social events and talking to people and hanging out, but you don't try to bring real estate into the conversation, if you don't treat it like a business, it's not going to be really that successful. You can't just go around and hope that people are going to want to buy with you. You can't be a secret agent. You have to bring it into the conversation, but there's a time and a place. Do you walk into a bar and slide up to that hot person and be like, dude, let's go get married? No, you foreplay, you dance, you talk, you buy them a drink, you laugh, you see if there's chemistry there, you get to know them, you build a rapport, you build a relationship. It's a feeling that you start to get. You're not going to go home and marry every single person that you meet at the bar. But eventually, you're going to maybe meet someone that you go home with, or you're just going to end up having fun and making connections with other people. If you start randomly calling people and ask them to marry you in the middle of a work day, when they're in the middle of doing something else, they're going to be like, dude, what the? And the few people that do say yes, they're desperate and there's no connection. And why would you want to work with them? I would rather make connections and do my life and enjoy my life while I'm doing it and see how I can help people. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's say you're volunteering because it hurts your heart that there are puppies out there without a home. It hurts. If it doesn't hurt your heart, you're made of ice, right? Puppies need a home. They need love. And humans need the puppies. So you see puppies that need a home and it hurts your heart, and you see it and you see it. Well, go do something about it. Go volunteer at an animal shelter. Now what happens is you are out there doing something that heals your heart. Now, some people might say, oh, you can't do that. You have to be grinding on the phone and making cold calls all day long. You have to build your business. If you don't grind, if you don't work, it's not going to happen. You're not going to achieve your dreams. You're not going to have success. Well, that depends on how you define success. I define success as feeling good as much as I possibly can. And if saving puppies and hugging them and changing their bedding makes me feel good, that's success. Now, while I'm there, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to meet other volunteers, other humans who also want to fix something that hurts their heart, puppies that need a home. So now I start talking to these other humans, and guess what happens? I start to know them, they start to know me. I hopefully start to like them, they hopefully start to like me, and we start to trust each other. And the trust, when you volunteer, is something that's pretty much built in, because you're both sharing a value. You're both in a place volunteering your time to fix something that hurts your heart. So now you've made a human connection, and that's what life is all about. But we do need money, right? We got to pay the bills, we got to buy stuff. So what if you make these connections while you're volunteering, and since you start to know this person, you start to talk to this person, you gently introduce into the conversation that you're in real estate without sounding salesy or cheesy, without beating them over the head and asking them if they want to buy or sell a house, but just drop it into the conversation, because that's what people do. They talk about their business, they talk about their life. And now you've put it out there. There you go. And whether this person is ready to buy or sell or not, they might know someone who's ready to buy or sell, and it might not be today and it might not be tomorrow, but it will be eventually. And if you focus first on the know, like, and trust factor, if you focused first on the feeling, the rest will follow. If you are led by something greater than money, the money will follow. There are so many ways to build your business organically. That's just one of them. But it's a mindset shift. It's a shift away from looking at people as dollar signs, is looking at people as leads or as deals, and instead looking at them as humans. Focusing on the relationship first, and then in other videos, I'll give you other ways that you can turn those contacts into clients. But for now, just simple, when you walk through the world today, focus on relationships. Look people in the eye. Ask them questions. Pick up the phone and call a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, someone that just crossed your mind that you just thought about, and ask them how they're doing. Focus on the people today, and I promise you, we'll talk later about how the business will follow. Shift your mind, shift your focus, and remember that sales is service. Sales is problem solving. And you will get paid for it. I serve, I deserve. We'll talk about that also in another video. So I gotta wrap up before I start rambling, because I have so much to say to you. So I'm gonna be coming on YouTube more frequently. I'm gonna try and make it kind of regular, once or twice a week. We'll see. But for now, if you are interested in building your business in an organic way and you're not sure what it is or if it's the right fit for you, I have a little download. It's a free little bucket system that I created. And it's basically just a way to look at and quiz yourself to see what way feels best for you to build your business. And the ways that I put in this bucket system are not the only ways to build your business. And that's the number one thing I want you to know from this, to take away from this and from every video that I ever do, and everything I write and everything I say and every course I teach, is that you get to do it, your business, your life, your way. What I'm putting out here are just ideas to help you spark ingenuity, to spark ideas, and to give you the support to let you know that there is a way to do it the way that feels right for you. Take a little bit of what I say, a little bit of what someone else says, something you read, and then the thoughts will just download from the universe, and you'll do what feels right to you. What really makes me ick is when there are people out there, especially they call themselves coaches, and they tell you how you need to do your business. Because if you talk to 5 coaches, you're going to hear 5 different ways to build your business, 5 different ways to do your morning routine, 5 different ways to build your life. And it's just not possible to do them all. And it's not possible that all of them fit you. What's important to do is to let yourself trust that you will find the right way will find you, and to check in with how you feel. Put the feelings first. Does it feel in alignment? Is what you're doing feel icky or feel in alignment? And if it feels icky, that's your intuition telling you do something different. So download my free bucket system, check it out, see how it makes you feel. Let me know in the comments. I would love your feedback. I'll be coming on and doing more videos and trying not to ramble. It's a rambling thing. If I ramble too much, sorry. And I'm out of here.